Welcome back everybody to a new episode. I have done some sort of experimenting here in the break, and yeah, as far as I can tell, there is no longer any kind of grant electorship. Oh, I'm such a fool, you derpy derp. Of course that's because of us establishing this. There's no need for electors because they always vote for us. And therefore that eradicated the fact that we need electors in terms of imperial authority. How embarrassing. I wish I had come to that conclusion before I ended last episode, because everybody's probably going to be stating that in the comments. Okay, Catholic Empire. My Emperor, a Catholic Empire happened to us, giving us +1 missionary strength, tolerance of true faith, yearly legitimacy, and plus 25% imperial authority. Oh my gosh! The dream! So cool. Gonna keep adding provinces to use to enforce religion. Of course, enforcing religion, this is becoming quite costly in terms of imperial authority, but it will pay off. To say the least, it will pay off. Going to be enforcing it on anybody and everybody that will accept it. One thing we can do to increase the likelihood that they will accept it is by actually improving relations with their nation. Okay, looks like we pretty much got everybody who will accept it right now. I should be claiming Brandenburg, and who okay, Brittany looks like he'll be a bit of a pushover as well. So we're going to be expanding into Brittany and Brandenburg ASAP. Let's claim up Brandenburg's land. The next war we were going to go declare against was going to be the Polish. And is there any reason why we should not do that? Not really. I think it's time to go. Gonna focus admin ASAP, don't forget that. Alright, let's take a big chunk out of the Poles here. Even being at war with the Empire is irrelevant. We're going to actually be gaining a ton of imperial authority whilst being at war with the Empire. This is so awesome. Now, we do not have our tremendous war slave of the French any longer, because we have actually integrated them, which is no big deal. It just means that I have to be a little bit more active myself, because we have been able to slack off quite a little bit during these wars, as the French have really just done so much work on our behalf. Yet again, we're experiencing that strange thing where he doesn't actually call in his allies. There we go. And he calls them in after a long period of time. Really strange. At least it's strange to me. Maybe you guys are completely aware of what's happening. Okay. Oh, okay, so I learned something new here, is we do not actually gain 10 imperial authority when our ruler dies nowadays, apparently. Which kind of makes sense. I think the authority you gained was from the fact that you were being voted for as a nation, but now we have the emperorship on lockdown every single time. I'm just making sure that I have a pin on every single one of my forces. Nice. Hejaz is going to be another nation that we can feed nicely from the Ottomans, another vassal, which is always good. Now, I really did want to try something out. Let's firstly enforce religion on Byzantium. He does have religious ideas. I suspect he should be able to convert that in no time. I wanna try something. We have a royal marriage with them. Now, I think I just freed up Serbia, the Diplo slot. I mean, we have royal marriage with them, but regardless, I think I just freed up the Diplo slot once our royal marriage dies. And they're a member of the Empire, right? So that was my initial strategy and my initial technique. So I'm hoping to do that with Byzantium and Bulgaria. And I'm hoping that Byzantium in particular, when we actually declare on the Ottomans, I'm hoping that he expands into the Ottomans of his own volition, like these claims, right? So we'll see how that goes. I think that's working. No harm in that, I don't think. I'm gonna try to have a the knights exist in Malta. Cool. I'm gonna try to diplo-vassalize them. No, we own one of his cores, damn it. It's undoable. I don't think he will ever lose core here either. Ah, he will lose core in 22 years. Interesting. Who the... No! Don't damage my colony! It's so expensive. Bring our navy back over to the mainland. I think I was saying, I can't remember if I finished my sentence or not, but I'm going to make sure I have at least one army over here in France in case we get rebels or something like that, because we don't quite have access throughout the entire empire if we are not at war. Of course, the reason Malta does lose core on here is because it's not his culture. He's not actually Greek. I think Spanish, we talked about our score in previous episodes, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Spanish are rank 1 right now. For some reason the AI seems to really overrate colonial nations, and I wouldn't be surprised if Portugal and Spain were really high up there, and the fact that Spain has a PU over Portugal might make them highly rated. I'm not sure. Let's focus our admin finally. Whoa! Burgundy has so many damn allies, like, Jesus. I think the best way to handle that is probably in our next war against Lithuania, we'll just fully annex him. That's the best way to do that. Apparently this dude was exiled, which I didn't realize. Just great. So I don't think there's any reason to not add everything we can to the Empire right now, as we're simply not going to be losing any Imperial authority. I mean, even when the Empire is at war, we're gaining Imperial authority, and for the most part it's fixed at peace, which is plus 10 or 11 in our case, as we get 10% more as Austria. So I think this is a smart way to do things. Looks like declaring on Brittany is going to bring us into a war against Corsica. That will allow us... Oh! Corsica flipped Catholic. We must have enforced peace on them. Enforced religious unity, and I didn't realize. That must have been it. So... let's do our best to improve relations with nations that don't hate us. Right, they hate us so much because we're enforcing religion. So it's going to take time. At the end of the day, it's going to take time. That's okay. We've got plenty of time. Why are you still exiled? I asked you to go to Champagne, dude. How are you possibly exiled? What's going on? There you go, now go back. Didn't I? I thought I already asked him to do that. We're about to integrate Cornwall. And, you know, the English are not that happy with us. Let's improve relations with them. No, what the fuck? What is this, dude? Just get over here. This is a bug, I think. This is some kind of bug. We're walking onto the Empire's land and it's exiling my troops. That's really frustrating. Oh well. Okay, making sure to break alliances with anybody outside of the Empire. So this is going to... we need 2 more provinces out here to actually have a Brazilian colony. And that will all come in due time. In due time. We will take land from the Spanish. I really like the fact that Flanders is colonizing. I'm hoping that... oh, I was hoping that Holland would colonize as well, but surprisingly their 4th idea is another military idea. At least they're expanding outside the Empire. That's really cool. of course I'm denying all these diplo relations because we're going to be using them as vassal slots. Speaking of which, I think we will continue to cancel these vassals, as I think that technique has worked out just fine and they cannot actually fight amongst themselves. If we could have Bulgaria expand into Wallachia, that would probably be ideal. He's got claims there, so this Wallachia is going to spawn by the looks of things. The Ottomans can simply not do anything about it. This is such an exciting game. Okay. That's going to complete our mission. And it gave us a lot of overextension. But we're doing fine in that regard. Costing us a lot of admin, unfortunately, to core it up. But that's just how it goes. This wants us to have 20 heavy ships, which is just not going to happen right now. Let's try to solidify papal relations instead. Alright, look at that, dude. The Empire's border is just so incredible. The AI expanding on its own volition is just so cool. I think it's time that we can start destroying some of these inland castles. In fact, we hardly need any of these castles either. Let's improve our economy a bit. Awesome. Our stability is doing quite well. I think we're doing quite well in every regard. Going to be making a massive amount of imperial authority while we're at peace. And people do hate us. Our aggressive expansion is really high. But Spain can't coalition us, and we can simply just attack these other nations who really despise us in the future. We've got to make sure we're on point and attacking the Ottomans every time our truce comes up. Our truce comes up in 13 years. So what would be our next wars? We can vassalize the Crimea right now. I might do that. I really think this technique of breaking vassalage is working really well. I hope I'm not making any kind of mistake. This is so sketchy. But of course, they are Catholic. They will vote for us. Once our overextension, you know, our reputation, etc. is so high, our imperial authority will get up to, I mean, who knows how much? 100? I think this is a smart move, but we do have to consider that we don't have these guys as vassals. It is only the Mamelukes who we have as vassals. Let's begin vassalizing nations left, right, and center, though. release Kiev, and we'll feed him to the best of our ability into Lithuania. I think we can quickly declare a war on the Crimea and vassalize him. So technically we only have 3 diplo slots right now, once our royal marriages end, with our 2 vassals. Naples is allied with Russia. Go ahead and add Cornwall to the empire. Ah, god dang you natives. Their aggressiveness is so low, but they keep spawning. Ow! Ow! Why you do this? If we just straight up vassalize the Crimea, that's going to piss Russia off a lot. But I'm pretty sure we can handle that. He's not going to break our alliance over it, I don't think. Of course, if Russia will join us in the war, then we could just give him this province. This is such a crazy game. I'm kind of a little bit in awe, guys, with what's going on. It's 16:03, so it's getting later and later and later, and that does make me a little bit nervous, you know. Ah, so badly. I want the Russian dynasty so badly. It is such a gamble to be allied with him at this stage of the game rather than expand into him. Like, for instance, we could break our alliance with him and begin to expand into him, you know? The Crimea reconquest, all this, for instance. But I've kind of done the math in my head, and I feel like world conquest... I mean, people say that it takes 100 years to conquer Africa and 100 years to conquer Asia. That's kind of the common consensus. Conquering the New World throughout that period of time, I'm content we can do that simultaneously, as they don't cost overextension when you actually give it to your subjects, your colonial nations. But conquering all of this land, as well as, I mean, look how much of Europe we have, but we still need all of the Iberian Peninsula, we still need all of the British Isles, all of Scandinavia. There's just so much to go. So much of Eastern Europe, so much of Turkey. I really feel like gambling for this PU is kind of the better call. But I might have to if sometime soon we don't find ourselves with the Russian dynasty, I might have to come to terms with the fact that it's not going to happen. Why aren't you sieging this up, dude? Thank you. I need you to siege that so we can give it to you. I am... no point in taking his money. Okay, this dude doesn't appear to have any allies, so his tech is bad as well. So let's just wreck him quickly in the name of reconquest. He does have an ally, but it's not going to matter. Going to be giving these 4 provinces to the Crimea. How much of the world has been discovered? Oh, Ming is intact! Awesome. So far Ming has not collapsed. That's really good news in terms of world conquest, because he is Chinese tech, and being Western we will be able to protectorate him once we have the technology. So that means Ming is probably, maybe myself or Russia is on par with him. Certainly the Ottomans used to be. But he's probably, in terms of base tax, he's one of, if not the largest in the world right now. Taking him out in one war rather than dealing with the separate Chinese is just huge in terms of world conquest. I have actually noticed that lately Ming seems to be more stable, it seems. From my experience. Cool. We still have 3 more Diplo slots, so we're going to be looking around for places to vassalize people. In our next war against the Ottomans, we're going to take one of these provinces for ourselves and release Hejaz. That will be 1 vassal. I'm not sure at the moment where else we will release vassals. Perhaps taking a province and releasing Georgia? Yeah, I suppose Georgia is the largest Caucasian, so we could do that in this war right now. And I will use the same technique of adding them to the empire and then cancelling that, because we can completely circumnavigate the increased coring costs by using that method. Okay, we've taken everything we need, so let's just go straight for his capital to hopefully speed this war up a little bit. All of these missions are pretty pointless. We will be able to do something like this soon. As our coring range increases by maybe conquering some Portuguese land or something like that. annexing Brittany is going to acquire ourselves a lot of aggressive expansion. And unfortunately, he appears to be slightly over 100%. The Empire just hates us for enforcing religion on nations, unfortunately. But that's just how it goes, it's no problem. I suspect Bohemia is going to gobble all of that up in due time, which is so cool. Oh, Prussia is free. Prussia is free and Prussia is gobbling it up. Cool, cool, cool. That means Prussia is that much more powerful. Now he's no longer a subject. And those great Prussian forces will be on our side in the future. Let's see how strong he is. 25,000 forces and counting. Pretty cool. Our unrest is a little bit of an issue, but once we reduce our overextension from 87%, we'll be sitting much better in terms of overextension. These centers of trade though, come on. It's been so long in there. Centers of trade, I mean centers of reformation. They're still converting our land. The blasted guys. Maybe I should move some troops out here. This is just taking hilariously long. No! Our inflation reduction advisor. Okay, we're just going to be waiting on this siege here, and that should be enough to peace him out. Looks like Byzantium doesn't quite have the missionary strength to convert that Sunni province just yet. Or maybe they can, I just can't see it because I'm not there. They are not my subject any longer. I think they should be able to. Byzantium ideas give them missionary strength, if I'm not mistaken. I don't see it. Actually, maybe they don't. But regardless, they do have religious ideas. Freeing Bulgaria also allows them to gain their own diplomatic relations as well. I didn't really consider that. They do have the same dynasty as us, and that's yet more opportunity for them to spread their dynasty, or our dynasty rather. Kiev also has religious ideas, very cool. We will enforce religion on him. Oh, come on, you're kidding me, this war is taking too long. For such a small amount of land. Ottoman truce is 10 years, and Lithuanian truce has... When is the Lithuanian truce breaking? I don't see it. 3 years time. So that will be a good war for us. as the empire begins to border Lithuania more and more, not just now that Prussia is free, and also Bohemia may border them soon. Nice, Prussia is rivaling them. I suspect Prussia will wreck Lithuania as well as we begin to destroy Lithuania. That's so cool. Okay, we are going to call this one province. And we're going to use the technique of bringing them into the empire. Except it's not bordering the empire. Gosh darn it, I always forget that. I don't think we can make that happen anyway. So never mind bringing them into the empire, we will vassalize them regardless. So next war against this dude will reconquest all of this, take another province and release Georgia. That's fine. These vassals that are outside the empire, I'm going to integrate ASAP. Like every 10 years, we're going to be integrating them. Valachi is on the map. So hopefully Bulgaria will go ahead and wreck him. He should delete his forces next month, as it's making him bankrupt. No! My stability! Stupid peasants, why do you do this to me? Okay guys, well this episode has dragged on a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm going to call it here. The reason I'm not selecting this is I want to put forces in position to deal with this so that we don't lose our autonomy here when the peasants actually take control of this region. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed. We're going to be declaring war on Lithuania here soon, incorporating this core into our land and probably taking more land for ourselves. Like now that we've boarded them, we'll just take some Catholic land. Now that we have cored all of this land up, we can add it to the empire, getting that much closer to that 50. But of course we're going to take it slow and steady. We need every single one of these nations to actually decide to pass this vote. And in regards to Bulgaria, Byzantium and Serbia, our vassals, they hate us because we broke vassalage with them, but of course that's no problem. In due time everybody will come over, the majority of them will come over. Nations who are not Catholic inside the empire absolutely despise us, but they will come over in due time as well. And anybody that we can successfully convert to Catholicism basically is happy with us and content with us being their master and their overlord. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is really exciting for me. I feel like the empire is absolutely tremendously mighty. I feel like we are, I'm talking in terms of world conquest, I feel like we're pretty good. We're pretty good. We have opportunities out in the New World. Once I reconquest a lot more land, I'm going to feel a lot better. But one of the sort of trump cards that I keep trying to describe is I'm hoping that when we actually expand into Byzantium, or as the Ottomans become weaker and weaker, I'm hoping that I said into Byzantium, I meant the Ottomans, that Byzantium expands himself into the Ottomans, as well as Prussia into Lithuania and so on and so forth. I hope you guys enjoyed. I have been enjoying like crazy, and I'm really looking forward to continuing this. I am taking a break in real life. It's been a long session here, and yeah, so I might be in a little bit of a different headspace when we start up again, but regardless, I'm really looking forward to it, and I'll see you guys next time.